Remembering Our Spirits, January 27th, from the book of Around the Year with Emmett Fox, Remembering Our Spirits. January 27th, the Law of Forgiveness. It is an unbreakable mental law that you have to forgive others if you want to demonstrate over your difficulties and to make any real spiritual progress. The vital importance of forgiveness may not be obvious at first sight, but you may be sure that it is not by chance that every great spiritual teacher, from Jesus Christ across the board, has insisted so strongly upon it. You must forgive injuries, not in just words or as a matter of form, but in your heart. And that is the long and the short of it. You do this not for the other person's sake, but for your own sake. Resentment, condemnation, anger, desire to see someone punished are things that rot your soul. Such things fasten your troubles to you with rivers. They fetter you to many other problems that actually have nothing whatever to do with the original grievances themselves. Not rendering evil for evil or railing for railing, but contrariwise blessing. Knowing that you are to that called, that you shall inherit a blessing. My interpretation of that today is that forgiveness is a blessing first and foremost to ourselves. I also believe that forgiveness is a practice. It doesn't, my experience is, and I take a great deal of this from A Course in Miracles. A Course in Miracles says that forgiveness is a practice and that we are really forgiving ourselves for seeing the world through the eyes of illusion rather than through the eyes of truth. The eyes of illusion are a demonstration of fear, and the eyes of truth are a demonstration of love. Now, do I look at the world through eyes of a demonstration of love all the time? No, I don't. It's a practice. It is a practice. In my childhood, I experienced a lot of grievances toward my mother for how she treated me. And believe me, I treated her probably worse as I got older and into my teenage years than she treated me. Because I interpret her treatment of me and perceived her treatment of me as her wronging me. And even if I were wronged, for me to continue to blame anything in my life for how I was treated in my childhood or at any time in my life, that makes me choosing to be a victim of someone else's choices. I'm going to say that again. That puts me in the position of being a victim of someone else's choices. The prayer that was shared with me around forgiveness is, I forgive you, person, for not being the person that I needed, deserved, and wanted you to be for me. That prayer has relieved me of being a victim of other people's choices. And it really, really works. I support you in trying that really simple affirmative prayer, affirmation, prayer, mantra, whatever languaging works for you, in saying, I forgive you, person, for not being the person that I wanted and needed and deserved you to be for me. That that affirming prayer that I practice has set me free. I also put in front of it, I'm grateful. I'm grateful and willing to forgive person. I always pray affirmatively. I'm grateful. Because in my experience, it's simply a matter of receiving it from the universe. And the only reason I don't is because I'm blocking the reception of it, or it's not divine time for me to have it yet. Or it's in my best interest to not have it. And then I get to practice forgiving not getting what I wanted and knowing that is for my highest good. Spiritual practices are easy. However, in my spiritual practices and what I'm sharing on this channel is not that it's about receiving material things in the world, although every human being deserves Abraham Maslow's pyramid of shelter, clothing, food, water, air. We all deserve those. I know we do not all have those. That is a larger discussion to be had by another human being whose focus are those things. The focus of this channel is your spirit and being in a relationship in some way and in some ways and forms, multiple, of being in conscious contact with the spirit that is within all of us. And moving through any obstacles in the way, inside of you and me, in being in relationship with that spirit. I have been walking that practice since 1993. And before that, I lived in this world as a victim and a blamer and a taker and a user. I still feel shame when I speak about and remember how I showed up in the world prior to 1993. And in 1993, I had a near-death experience which changed the trajectory of my life and changed everything. And some of it was easy and a lot of it was really hard. And I wouldn't change a thing because I experienced a truth within my near-death experience, while having my near-death experience, that all we are is love and only love. And I have been practicing living that truth since I had my near-death experience. Remember your spirit. Walk with us. Forgiveness is a practice. I feel like I'm supposed to say more and say something really extraordinary and be, the master However, I'm just